I was like, what's gonna happen?
Hey,
I was like, it's us on here. My bad.
we
My bad.
here.
We were supposed to talk. Got it.
We
That's
here.
how it works.
That's how it works. Just come on and start talking.
Happy Sunday. Happy. I can hear you. Where's that playing?
You can't what?
I can hear that.
Oh, you can't? Oh my bad.
Old people. Um. Happy post Mother's Day. Um. We took off not because I did anything for Mother's Day, because
Mm.
COVID baby over there.
Mm.
You saw Mama though.
Yeah, that was all right. Who?
You don't know if they all right. They
Oh,
black all right.
well, I'm sick. Then I was sitting right next to.
Oh no, that was after.
Oh,
Like, so she was like,
oh
"Well,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is
That
about
was
the
that was
time."
yeah.
That was
That's it.
after.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
talking about you saw it for Mother's Day.
Yeah, I'm talking about your Mother's Day. I wasn't over. I went over there, but I wasn't around nobody. I was
Uh,
outside. I stayed outside
and he's
pretty
like,
much. Mm.
um. So I sent my gift in the mail, so she could feel a little love, not a lot
Mm.
though, because COVID. I want her to know I still love me more.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
when we took her out
Know
we
myself.
took her out yesterday. Yesterday, right? Yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
God, how
Yesterday.
this week is passing. Let me tell you the fuckery that happened to me. So I had to go out of town to go do something real quick. It was supposed to be a real quick situation with one of my properties. And I ain't gonna sit here and try to gas y'all. It's my fault.
Oh, it ain't. It is your fault.
Oh, it's my fault. Um, it's my fault because one, I bought a property in Baltimore. That's the very first thing I did wrong.
Mm,
Okay, people were
mm.
telling me about the wire. People were.
Have you not seen The Wire?
I've never seen The Wire. Why? Because I live there. I live there. I don't
Okay,
need to see that.
that's
So I
awesome
could be
show.
just stressed out all the goddamn
Oh, you
time.
mean while you was there?
Yeah, while I was there.
Yeah.
I still haven't
Okay.
watched it though.
Okay.
Because like I still have property here.
Okay.
But I had 3 properties in Baltimore and I'm like, why the fuck did I do this? Right? Like, but keep in mind these were my starter homes, so I had to learn how to do things. And I learned a lot from those properties. Mainly location matters.
Location, location, location.
Free advice to everybody out there. Locate. It don't matter how cheap that house is. If you in a shitty city ran place, and I said it. Y'all run y'all shitty. Y'all city shitty. That's what city shitty city. I can't
Say it
say it.
5 times
I can't
fast.
say it. But it's shitty. Okay, it matters. So what do I mean? Why it matters? Okay, because you're in a city, a shitty city. They have shitty city rules.
Rules
I'm
and
gonna
problems.
stop. So,
Shitty city rules.
I had one of my properties. I affectionately called it the crack house. Yes,
Mm.
I did.
It's a
Um,
crack house.
it was a crack house. And well, there was the trap house, the crack house, and then
Mm.
there was the third house. But I sold both the trap and the crack house, but it was
Okay.
hard for me
Yeah.
to sell the trap house. It was
Well,
that was my
you
first home.
you thought you was able to make a little bit more money than you was, by being,
Oh, because trap house?
trappish. Yeah, because it should have been making more
No.
money off it.
So the trap house, affectionately call it that. Let me be clear. The people of Baltimore are dope, right? As a general rule, they're dope. Like they live in a shitty city, but they look out for their people. They was looking at me and look at this little city girl. Oh, this fucker.
She
She
don't
gonna
know no
die.
better. She
Yeah,
don't know no better.
yeah, she gonna die. We
She's
gotta look
gonna be a
out for her.
victim.
Yeah. So they were always great. Like they used to watch me. Like it was like, oh, you've been gone for like 2 days, bitch. Why do you know that?
Mm.
Why do you know that? So they're very great, whatever. So my crack house was a house I was supposed to rehab, and I had all the best intentions in the world, right? I'm very altruistic. I was gonna rehab the house and then sell it at a low rate
Mhm.
to somebody from Baltimore,
Mhm.
a parent, with children and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. That was my goal, right? But um crackheads don't care.
Nope.
So
This was our house.
yes, and that's how they saw it, right? And so hindsight being 2020, maybe I shouldn't have bought the house that was with the backyard facing liquor store.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. And like I've seen way more drugs in my backyard than I thought I was selling at one point. I was like, God damn, is this rocks? I ain't seen
Syringes,
rocks in a minute.
baggies,
Yes. Like I'm like, this is
vials.
I just in context, this wasn't even a part of my childhood. And why am I seeing it now?
Mm.
So I did a lot of work in that house. I had a tetanus shot. I had to get a tetanus shot with this house or whatever. So then
Well, you fit in. You had to get a shot, so you fit.
True.
Yeah,
I
you
was
fit
touching
in
them
there.
needles.
Yeah, you fit in.
So then so side note, all those needles that they had there, because they had a lot of needles in my
Oh,
house,
I'm
right? That
sure
had to
they
get
did.
cleaned up. But so these people were sharing needles, but they were condoms.
Okay.
I was like, how the fuck? What in the fuck logic is this?
No,
It's like, well,
babies. They didn't want no babies, but they didn't care about. They didn't care about hepatitis or HIV or none of the other good stuff.
gotcha.
Babies. They didn't want no crack babies running around here. So thank you, people. We don't need no
my
crack
bad.
babies. Yeah, we don't. Nobody wants.
So I got robbed.
Mm.
Moral of the story, I got robbed. I had some stuff in there, whatever. And they, like, these crackheads are very creative. They got a truck because it was heavy shit. They went and robbed it. So I called the police. The police came and was like, how can I help you? What? I just said I got robbed. And I was like, yeah, but I mean,
Now,
what you want
just
us to
because
do
you got
about it?
robbed don't mean they had a truck. I've seen a crackhead with a washing machine on the front part of a bike. So yeah, in New Orleans, I've seen it. So yeah, no, they might not have a truck. They are
resilient.
Yeah, they're resilient. Yes, they are.
But I mean, okay, a washing machine is one thing, but I had multiple boxes of flooring, really heavy, quality bamboo flooring, right?
Okay.
Now keep in mind, autistic. I was trying to make sure these people had nice shit. But it was gone.
And
And
they
so
said, she asking for this. Let's just go ahead and give
pretty
it
much that's
lesson.
what the police was saying. They was like, well, I mean, what you thought was gonna happen?
Mm.
I'm like, well, I mean, could you maybe give me a police report? Possibly. Nah, we don't do that. What?
Nobody ain't dead.
Well, you ain't got no windows. I said it was boarded up and gated. Well, you ain't got no windows. I said, is that a hard, fast rule? If I look this up in the statutes, it'll say that. Yeah, it's gonna say that. And I look it up. I said, don't say that. Well, I'm telling you what it is. That's Baltimore. That is Baltimore. So when I walked in there, and today, like this week, because I told you I was supposed to be gone for 2 days, right?
Mhm.
It wasn't true, was it?
No.
Why? Because of Baltimore. I walked in there. I'm like, I'm good mood. I'm like, you know what? They're gonna see the Jesus in me. I'm gonna walk in there and see the light and love in my heart. I'm gonna be like, whatever.
They
I'm gonna
know you about a fruit you bear.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
we walk in there. And so
Marlene.
I walk in there. So I'm on the phone with my friend. That's why I say we. I'm on the
Marlene
phone with my
Jr.
friend. I'm like, well, let me call you back, girl, as soon as I get in, because I'm about to go talk to these people. And they think it's rude when you're on the phone. So there's a sign. Now keep in mind, I went on the phone, I went online to call them at first. The number for, for the permanent apartment, this number. I called the number, it kept hanging up. Like it was like ring, hang up, ring, hang up. I said, all right, fine. So I look online and I'm like, there's no sign saying that you can't go in. Like they're not saying, hey, we're practicing social distancing. You need to, not come in or nothing. So I get my car and drive my little 30 minutes, get there, park right in front, and walk in, and there's like, welcome, visitors and employees go through here. So I had to get a temperature check on the little machine. Fine. I walked through the door and I'm like, hey, and I was about to say good morning. And then the lady said, you ain't supposed to be here. Good morning, ma'am. Okay. That's fine. I'm not supposed to be here. But however, I call this number online and the number just keeps hanging up and I need to contact these people with permanent apartment. You ain't supposed to be here. I hear you. That is a fair argument. Very fair argument. However, I call this number online and it just keeps hanging up and I need to get in touch with the permanent apartment so I can sell my house. And I just hold on for a second. Let me get these people because you ain't even supposed to be here. I don't even know why you're sitting.
Why are you talking to me right now? Why? I don't hear you because you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. So how am I hearing you right now?
And so I used to be a very angry person, right? Like when people would pop off, I'd be like, oh, that's how you pop off? Crack my knuckles. Let me show you how it's done. That's how I used to be. Now I'm just amused. So I walk outside. Actually, I was just standing there. She said, you coming or not? Oh, let me go. And like, I'm amused. Everything I'm responding is amusing. So I go outside and she's like, stay right here. I'm like, well, I could have just stayed. Okay, I'll stay right here. So I stay right here. She walks in the building. She's in there for 10 minutes. So I'm like, man, I need somebody else to bear witness to this because this is Baltimore. So that means by rule, this will be fuckery. Okay. So I called my homegirl back up on the phone. She's like, oh, did you get the answer so quick? I said, no, just hold on. And I gave her the rundown what I just told you. She come out and I'm like, oh, I said, did they say? She's like, did somebody coming? And then she just walks away. And Oye said, "What just happened?" I said, "Somebody's coming. That's all I
Somebody
got.
coming.
That's all I got."
Somebody coming.
So then a woman comes, walk out, and I say, "Hey, good morning." She said, "You ain't supposed to be here." Ma'am, I understand that, but you ain't supposed to be here. Ma'am, I understand that, but if you could give me a second, have a good day. And closes the door.
Okay.
Now, old Nicole would have said, "You bad body built bitch. You and your see," but it didn't, because it was like I've turned into more of a Dalai Lama in my approach, and I'm like, nothing matters. Nothing matters.
Protect your chi.
It does not matter. So I walk to the car. Oh, now keep in mind, this whole time, all I need is a number. That's all I've been asking for this whole time.
10
So
digits.
I can't be mad because on the window while I was waiting for her to come tell me the same thing the other lady told me, there was like a small sheet of paper with very small print that had a list of numbers on it.
Okay.
So I took a picture of that just in case it was different than the other ones, because all I was going to ask for is that number and then leave, and like, I'm not here. Woof, ghost. Like, so
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, fading into yes. So I get in the car and I call a number, and it just so happened that that's the number.
Okay.
So I'm like, I guess I can't be mad because I came for what I needed,
Got what you
right?
want.
But I'm like, God damn,
You're not supposed to be here.
I'm not. That's all I know. Nobody's supposed to be here. That's what I got.
How did you get here?
That's what I got. And I wanted to be like, I wanted to like you can't Yelp a city. First off, they can't go no further than 1 star. They already got Yelp. Like, they're already 1 star rating. But also on top of that, like I wanted to get mad initially. Right, the initial feelings was I wanted to get mad. I wanted to cuss this lady out. I had some good ones lined up, some zingers. I wanted to do all this stuff. Like, do you know what I'm going through? Do you know what I'm like? This is the foolishness y'all are putting me through. Like, this is not me doing this stuff. This is the fool. And I wanted to do all that stuff. I wanted to say all of those things. And I had to check myself. I did this to myself. One, because I got a property in Baltimore. But also, I wasn't there to ask the questions. Then I had to unpack all the stuff that I did wrong, right? And there was a lot of things I did wrong to get this moment today. So technically, I did. Well, yeah. How you have a whole website dedicated and still no information on it? Anyway, but I had to ask myself that question, right? And it's these hard questions you have to ask yourself, like, what did you do to get this? Like, because I was like, that's a lot. I'd argue that, on paper, because even my friend, that's all I could do was laugh, because my friend was like, what the fuck just happened? Why did she? Oh.
You weren't supposed to be here.
I wasn't supposed to be here. So I'd argue that I didn't do anything, right? But I did. I did a lot, because I bought the property in this area. I knew, by that time, I knew Baltimore wasn't shit. So by the time the third property happened, I knew Baltimore wasn't shit. But I still bought the property. I knew I was going to deal with fuck shit. So I can't be mad when I get fuck shit.
When you get that outcome.
Yeah, right? And so it got me thinking about the topic for today's show. Victim or villain? Which one are you? Right? Is that the sound?
Yeah.
So, and I was like, and I'm not trying to. And I was, when I sent this to Willie, I sent it to him like with the idea of, hopefully I'm not trying to offend anybody by saying this, right? I'm just, because I'm not trying to victim blame, victim shame, or put people in bad lights. That's not the intention of this podcast at all, this topic at all. What I'm saying is, it does not serve you to not understand your part you play in things.
So self-assessment and
Yes. So, for example, I was talking to, and like, I guess because I'm older now, I find myself having more mature conversations with people.
And with yourself too. Because before you used to be like, fuck this, they ain't gonna talk to me like that. Fuck this.
You bad body built bitch.
Now you're better.
Yeah,
talks.
Well, but I also feel like it's because I've practiced this so much that it's a lot easier to assess, right? In the beginning, it wasn't like that. In the beginning, it was like I would talk to people, and people would be like, Now there were definitely helpful people, but there were some hater people who would say some shit and just to be shady.
Amp it up also.
Yeah. Well, but and then it would sting. But then I also had to think about, well, whether it stings or not, is it true? Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I could get mad all day long at how they deliver the information, but if the information is still true, it's still your intentions for how you deliver it is up to you. But the information that I'm receiving is up to me to try to dissect and see if I can glean something out of it.
Also, people giving information like you don't know how anybody's going to take it, so that's not your responsibility to not offend people. You're just giving information. I mean,
Kevin Samuels.
Well, we could talk about him too. Shit. You're giving information.
Sound like you're talking about Kevin Samuels.
Whoever.
You're like, look,
we're giving information. So whether you get something from it or not.
How tall are you? You short. You need to get an ugly person.
Yeah, this is all you. That's all you can get.
This is all you can get.
This is what you qualify for, ma'am. Why are you looking for the pretty people? You qualify for this.
You're a 3 at best.
Or for the men. You have a big dick.
Oh no.
Oh well, you can't get a 9 or 10. You don't have no money. You don't have a big. Okay.
You short.
Yeah, you short. You fat. You don't have no money. Okay. Yeah. Go God.
If the information is valid information, right? Like it's not. I'm not. None of the like what people intention for you is their intention. Fuck their intention. I don't give a shit, right? But what the information is being given, this is true. Yeah. And for the most part, most people know. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, that I'm fine just the way I am. Nah, because when I had a 6-pack, it was great.
And you know the difference.
And what? When I had a 6-pack, I was damn near going to church with crop tops. Praise the Lord. Let them use you. Yes. Let them use you. Like
everybody say amen.
And let them praise them. Oh, but no, I know exactly what that feels like. We know, like the thing Kevin Samuels is not saying, he's saying his own way, but we know what it's like to be on the right side of those things, on the right side of health, on the right side of, not saying that people don't have issues, not at all. I got on birth control. That was a decision I made, and I made the right one. Okay. I don't regret that. Because I'm
not gonna say that.
But like I got on birth control, it made me gain weight. So I gained weight. That 6-pack that I had. Yeah, stupid. That 6-pack I had, it went away. I mean, it came back it made a brief. That was a lot. It took a lot to get that 6-pack then. But I'm just saying it went away.
It's a lot of work to keep up also.
It is, especially as you get older. But that being said, it can happen. So me sitting here coming to people talking about, the hormone shots gave it to me and this, that, and the third, and not taking responsibility for my stuff. Like, not saying the hormone shots didn't make me gain weight. They did. But I also made that choice. Yeah, and then there's the cookies. And then there's this, and I'm not eating the way I used to eat. And then it's not, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, this one thing is outside of your control. Like, because you already made that decision, it's too late. But you're making decisions on a daily basis that can change the effect of how you look. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about, like, we have to keep it in a position where you're not in that scenario, I'm not a victim to my weight. I'm not. I'm causing my own pain.
Your weight didn't choose you. You chose it.
Plymouth Rock didn't fall. I didn't fall on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock fell in my belly. So it's a glandular problem. So you have those situations, right? So it's like we're laughing because I use me as an example, but I was just talking to somebody and a friend of mine and about his relationship. Like, he picked the wrong one. Right. And I was just telling him, I was like, my thing is this: you picked the wrong one because you throw everything you've not done a self-assessment on yourself, right? Like, you're like, a lot of us are scared to be alone, and because we're scared to be alone, we pick somebody and then we allow that person to wreak havoc in our fucking life instead of us saying, well, and then so once that person does something to us, then it's like, oh my God, they did this to me, and it's like, okay, but what did you do? Like if you didn't do the hard work and understand that this situation happened because you allowed this person to come into your life without doing the right proper evaluation and just trusting people blindly, then maybe you wouldn't be in this situation. In fact, actually, every time I come up with a topic, I kept getting repetitive things happen after that.
It's a cycle. I mean, you could look at it. You could look at, well, life is a cycle, and people don't like put the dots together. They don't look at everything. Just because, like, even finances, right? Finances has something to do with it also.
Yep.
You know, you can attribute that to everything in life. You know, if you don't do the right assessment, if you don't properly do your homework on everything that's going around you, you're gonna be stuck out financially, emotionally, everything. You know, so we have to learn as people that no, we're not gonna have, just because it's us, we're not gonna have the best case scenario. Life don't owe us anything.
No, not anymore.
You know,
not a little bit.
you know, that's what I see a lot of people walking around doing right now. You know, well, you know, it's gonna do no. No, why should it be better for you? Who are you?
I mean, and some days it's better for other people, and some days like. And I was thinking the other day, and maybe this is a naive thought because I ain't got Beyonce kind of money, but people who are like filthy rich are kind of in their own prison too.
Oh yeah. Oh well, and filthy rich, not even filthy rich, in the limelight to where everybody know you got money.
Yeah. So that's what I should say.
Yeah.
Right? Because people know them, they expect them to have money, and they make them a mark.
Yep.
Right? So,
and you don't know if everybody's genuine or not. You have to look at everybody.
They know you have, so they're coming to you, and then you don't know how they're coming to you. Like, it's kind of like its own problem in itself.
Yep.
So anyway, I that's just a sidebar. I had a conversation before that one, because I was telling my friend about my therapy session, which kind of fucked with me. She said something, and I was like, "Bitch, you smart." Like, you think you smart? Touche, ho.
You don't know me.
You got me. She said something like I said it. That's how she said. I said, "Ah, touche, bitch. You got me. All right, whatever. I'm gonna think about what you said, right?" So I was
go home and reflect on this shit.
I'm gonna go think about this shit, and then like I'm handling.
Smarty hard nigga. You smarty hard nigga.
You think because you got a degree that you know
smart.
shit. So I was thinking about it. I was talking about it with my friend, and like just as a general rule of thumb, I'm just telling people I understand that we are in a avoidance kind of. We tend to avoid pain, and we tend to avoid the reality of situations. But don't be the friend and be like, "Oh, let me put it in perspective for you," and then you give me somebody's problem. I don't give a fuck about your problem. Not while I'm talking about mine. Okay? I just want to be clear. I didn't say that during that moment because I didn't feel like it. I just didn't feel like, every now and again, I don't feel like being an asshole. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about your problem if I'm talking about mine. And I feel like everybody should do that. If you're coming to somebody with your problem and they start saying, "Well, let me tell you about my problem," go, "No, bitch, I told you about my problems. Stay here." All right? Don't start talking about your shit. We can get there.
Bring it back.
Yeah. Get over here.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
I think that is so rude and selfish.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have the bandwidth to listen to people's problems, that is up to you. And I'm all for that. But if for you to sit there and be like, yeah, enough of your shit.
Just, call it out.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who tend to sit in their problem, and no matter what happens, they've sat in their problem. Okay, I get that. You can definitely set up a boundary. But if they just start telling you a problem and you start saying, "Let me tell you something about a worse problem." So anyway, he was saying, "Let me tell you about a worse problem." First off, I never said it was a problem. I'm saying this is what I'm thinking about. But he was telling me about a problem where somebody, his coworker, was married to this dude, and it looked like a perfect marriage, right? Okay. And so he was like verbally abusive or whatever the case may be. And so she was trying to divorce him, and she had to go use my friend, to go find him so they can serve him with the divorce papers, right? Yeah, he messy. He like it. He like doing stuff like that. He messy. So that's what happened, right? And he said not more than a year passed and she was married again to somebody else, right? So he reached out to her and she was like, he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she's like, "I'm good. I'm good." And he said, "How's your husband? I see all that." And like all these pictures on Facebook and all this stuff, living a life, looking perfect. living your perfect little family life. And she was like, well, we're getting a divorce. And he's like, what? Y'all just got me. Like, it was
Okay.
probably like 2 years by that time.
Mhm.
2 or 3 years had passed. No, 2 years. And she was like, yeah. And I do not say this for a joke. I say this very seriously. She said that she found out her husband was raping her daughter. And I said, how's he alive?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, but
And that was
again,
the daughter that she had with her ex-husband?
yes. Yes. So me and
But
my
she didn't
criminal
reach out to him?
the ex-husband?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. So she was talking to my friend though. So, and he was because his purpose in telling me that to tell me that other people have problems.
Mhm.
All I heard was you got married to this man a year after you divorced this awful ass man that you acknowledged was
It was
awful.
awful. You got
I
something
think you were
worse.
in a vulnerable place and you didn't do the work to figure out stuff. Not saying that you got your daughter raped, but I will say that by you making your decisions,
Yeah, it caused the chain of events to happen, and had you did your work, that would have never happened.
yeah.
Or that more than likely.
I mean, it could have happened.
Yeah, it could have happened.
It could have happened.
more
It
than
could have
likely it
happened
wouldn't
all day long. But in that scenario, it opened the door. And like, I'm not saying she had anything to do with him doing that
No.
at all. But I'm saying, because now her takeaway is she's never get married again. I'm like, no, you can't. Those two don't correlate. The correlation is you should have done the work on you to figure out why you attract what you attract. And so you can start seeing the symptoms and seeing the signs and seeing what is with people, because you don't know. People are very good at hiding who they are, right? But eventually you can only hide for so long. So taking the time to get to know people isn't a problem. Like meeting somebody, falling in love with somebody, sure, have fun. But marrying somebody, moving them into your house, moving the rest of them, changing your life is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Turns out the man, and then also I will say you didn't do any research because he raped his daughters before. So there's a history of this stuff that like you're not finding out. And my takeaway from this is, did you do the necessary work because to me, she took no responsibility of her part in it. So her answer is don't get married again. And that's not.
No, that's lack of accountability. Because the information out there, you can find out anything about anybody if you have the time and you have the money. Just
usually money,
little money. Just it don't even take
time
much.
To take it too.
$50. It don't take us $50. You can find out anything you want to know on somebody.
Yeah.
With time and money, a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And it's worth your child's life. It's worth if you bringing them around a child. I mean, I would say this to any woman, right?
Or a man, because men are taking their kids in too.
That's true too.
Because women, I heard some horrible stories of women they brought in who sit there and abuse their child. Emotionally abuse is the worst.
And it is, but I want to say this happens more or less with people. Well, let's say people that are emotionally going through something, they're looking for somebody to fill that void because they're going to gravitate to pretty much anybody. And
men too. Like with the
void.
The void.
I said most. I didn't say women at that point.
Yeah.
I ain't on the women. See, she's trying to get. See,
I apologize. I said I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying you're trying to get them to give you my DMs. No, I didn't say women. I said emotional.
Have I ever
people.
gotten anybody in your DMs? Damn it! I need to do better.
You try harder. Try harder.
He don't like harder. Women, people.
You try harder. They know me by now. They know me. They
He's
know
like,
I don't.
He
hate
hates
women.
y'all.
They know.
I think she expressed that she doesn't trust her own choices, and that may be the case.
And that's true. I mean, and that's a better way to say that. She has to heal.
That's still not the right answer, right? But again,
no, she needs to stay away from people. If she don't trust her right choice, she needs to stay away from people and go seek help until she understands.
But she didn't say that. She said, "I'm not getting married again." Yeah. So it's hard for me to believe that she's saying that, those words as opposed to the other part.
Yeah.
And like I'm not trying to shit on her, but what I am trying to make her understand is she gambled her child.
Yeah, and that's what. Like I said, emotional people, if you're so caught up in your emotions that you want a certain type of lifestyle, you want something, you have a picture in your head of what something's supposed to look like, and you're trying everything to get that, you're forgetting things along the way because you're focused only on what you want and only on that person being that person for you, which, you might be opening yourself up financially to being bankrupt, to being, them stealing your money. If you have
taking
children,
your identity.
Yeah, taking your identity, yeah. All they need is Social Security number. So
I don't watch too many true crime documentaries. Let them in their life. Next thing you know, they got a life insurance policy on your ass. Like, it's ridiculous the stuff people do. And it's just like some time. And I get it. Like I said, I get it. I understand being lonely. I definitely understand it. Single life is great, but it can be lonely. But let me tell you, I've been in a marriage where I was also lonely.
It's worse when you lonely and you in a situation.
It is confusing when you feel lonely, but you're with somebody. Because it's like, how is this making sense?
I can see that.
Right fucking there.
Right there. Right there. But
and keep in mind, intimate moments are happening.
Lonely.
Yeah, Mr. Lonely. Intimate moments are happening. Like, he's hugging you and you're like, I still feel lonely. Like, so it doesn't matter. Like, we're running from something that we cannot run away from. Like, I didn't know this. And this is one of my therapy wow moments, right? Not before. I actually told my therapist, was just started the whole fucking thing. I shouldn't tell her any goddamn thing.
You know better. You asked for this.
Yes.
You paying for this.
Yeah, I'm paying for her to tell me about my ass. So I realized, right? I was dating this guy up in Baltimore, and I told you about him. Dope dude, cool. Always like, we were dating, but it's like 1950s types dating, you know.
Oh, courting. Y'all was courting. Y'all was courting. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, good old fashioned courting.
Very much so. And he's old fashioned like that. Like,
put his jacket down over the water so you can step down.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. He has a daughter and the whole nine, like a little girl. And he was like, I wanted you to stay with me, right? And I did stay with him. Right. But I was, in my mind, I had to unpack all these thoughts, right? Never once has he been anything less than respectful. Right. But I get there and he's like, all right. And he has to leave in the morning because he's going out of town. He's going to be gone the whole time while I'm there. He just came to pick me up at the airport, give me the key to this car. And that's it. And I'm like, what do you like? The very first thought I had in my head is, what do you want from me? What's your hustle?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. And how bad is that?
And if you was the wrong person, you could have screwed his life up too. So I mean,
true statement.
Yeah. So I mean, you got he had something to lose in that
yeah,
situation.
but it's also a gamble, right? From somebody what is it called? Love bombing.
I don't know that term. Yeah.
It's like, there's this term that's called love bombing, right? Where and I don't think so. At the worst case scenario, love bombing is when somebody says, I'm going to shower you with affection, shower with you attention, and when I have you, I'm going to then you're gonna get the rest of me, which is like the shitty stuff.
Okay, the hope representative and stuff until you get real comfortable, and then
representative on steroids.
Okay,
because there are a lot of people who do representatives.
Long-term representatives.
I don't, but the people who know that they are bad, but they get you with the intention. These are the people who end up hustling you and doing stuff like that, right? So, but I had to ask myself, why do I feel this way? Because now keep in mind, we've been courting for almost 2 years.
Oh yeah, I mean that's 2 years. Y'all in that right there. He trusts you. He actually trusts you.
But in my mind, I'm like, yo, this is a big long con.
The long. He's playing a long game.
This is a long game, right? And I'm like, why do I feel this way? And so when I get like that, right, I don't smack my hand. I don't sit there and go, oh, you're wrong for thinking that, blah, blah, blah. Instead of doing, I used to do that. Instead of doing that now, I ask myself, why do I feel this way? And I keep asking myself, why? Because, my mind is like trying to fight the answer. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the final answer came to my marriage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You had to revert back to your marriage. Is that you thought you had something, and then on the back end,
yeah,
walls came down, and your world is crumbling, and
I didn't say all that shit.
Oh, okay. No.
Fucking, so you got the knife to your chest. You about the violin string your arm. Like I didn't say all that.
Oh wait, damn it,
I hate veins. Let me tell you ahead of time. If somebody says I killed myself by that, somebody killed me. Because you can't, like my sister when we were younger, she would touch my vein. And I'd be like, no, like she would just do it just to fuck with me. And I hate veins to this day. I hate when people touch my veins. Hate it. I will beat you. I will beat you. Okay. So, so once I realized that was like a revelation for me, because to me, I never thought it affected me.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought, and on some level, it didn't affect me, right? But on some level,
On a
it did.
subconscious level, it did. And you wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was sitting there.
Mhm.
Like my marriage was a long ass time ago.
Mhm.
This is like 20 years. No, 18 years.
Yeah.
18 years have passed.
Mhm.
Probably 17. Still,
Mhm.
17 years have passed since then. And in 17 years, this has been sitting underneath. And I hadn't done the work to ask myself why I feel.
Mhm.
And then so I got in some relationships that built on that feeling of of um of fear,
Mhm.
and that then it proved it, like my ex who stole my dog, who just supported the theory, you know.
I'm
And
sorry.
then
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
see how
I'm
horrible he is.
sorry.
Get in the DM.
I'm
Y'all need to
sorry.
get in his DM.
I'm
He's an
sorry.
asshole. You see how he treat me?
Oh,
Get in his DMs. He don't like women, y'all. Right?
maybe it was the dogs. Maybe
Maybe
it was the dog.
my dog was dope.
Yeah.
So like it's stuff like that. It's like so then it ends up building. And so now I see how somebody comes to a scenario of I'm just not gonna get married anymore
Mhm.
because they didn't do the work. And not that they gave themselves time to do the work. They
Mhm.
didn't give themselves time. I'm sorry. Going from one relationship to the next as somebody who used to do it
Yeah.
is not enough time to
No.
do it.
That whole saying the only way to get over somebody is get under somebody else
Lies.
is bullshit.
Lies.
Shizzle.
It's the only way.
Bullshit,
It'll take
somebody
your
else.
mind off
Yeah.
of what you don't want to deal with. That's what it'll do.
And also, that problem is still there, and you haven't fixed anything, and whatever's inside you is waiting for that person that you done got up under to take it up out of you, to bring it up out of you, because they're gonna do it eventually because
In
you
one way
didn't
or
address
another.
it.
Yeah. Well, in one way or another, either the thing is, either you'll get to a point where you are believing that this person's going to be that person
They're different.
and they become that person, or they aren't that person at all, and then you change to try to force them to be that way. I've seen that situations. It's very strange. I don't know the phenomenon because I don't have a degree in it. My degree is not in anything else other than engineering, so keep that with a grain of salt. But I have seen situations where I know women who have been abused, like physically abused, who have been beat, and they'll get with a guy who ain't never put their hands on a woman in their life, and all of a sudden they hitting him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
are they doing things? They calling him you a punk ass. You know,
I've seen that.
Yeah,
too.
and they keep on trying to push buttons,
And it's not on
push buttons,
purpose.
because they're used to being loved.
That way.
They feel that's love.
Mm-hmm.
So if he ain't doing it, they feel like something's missing. There's a void. So
yeah.
Why you do what? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I firmly believe they're not doing it on purpose. They don't understand that they've been taught that love looks like violence.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think they understand that. And because they don't understand that, they're setting up this scenario. And then they're manifesting their own fears. Yeah. Because then that man ends up hitting them and they're like, see, all men do it.
I knew you was just like the rest of them.
I'm not.
Why?
I understand why they feel that way, but they don't know that sometimes, like, or they
attract those type of people because they see something in them and they don't realize that, or no.
I like me a strong man.
No, I like a man, a little thug in him.
Oh Lord.
I've
never liked a man with a little thug in him.
That saying.
Ever. I've never. But like there's like, oh, he's too soft for me. I have heard those things. I haven't heard those statements. Conversely, just to keep it equal opportunity, I've heard men talk about women and like they're not, like these women ain't shit. They ain't this, they ain't that, but they keep going for this type of girl, right? They'll go for a girl with a big ass, and that's it. That's the only requirement they have, and then they, whatever. Or like or the dude who would be like, well, all these women got kids. I'm like, but you got kids. But hey, but do you realize that? He's like, yeah, but I mean, I'm a man. Oh no, I think it still counts. They're still yours, right?
Yeah, it's still yours.
It still counts. Like there's no accountability. And so to hear these people have these conversations like they have absolutely no control over their life is just asinine to me. I don't think they're looking, Heidi. I don't think they mean
I don't
to.
think, yeah, it's subconscious. It feels a certain way to them. They're not really searching in the daylight with the flashlights. They actually
I think it's deep down.
Yeah.
I think it's deep down.
When they get around that person, it's like they're drawn to it because of something they're used to dealing with. It feels familiar to them.
Some trauma in them that attracts this thing. And because I mean, like for me, like I mean, after a certain point, like there was the people I dated may have looked different, but they all had up to a certain point, not my last few exes, but up to a certain point, they had the same thing. They were people who just never took accountability for this stuff. They always needed to be saved. And then I was always superheroing it and coming in and swooping in and saving a fucking day. And then they resented me for it. And they always just took advantage of that. That just became something that they did. And I was like, but they didn't do it. I did.
You realize it came from childhood, huh, Wonder Woman?
Oh, day. But the trauma came from, I mean, the trauma of his situation to me was a bigger betrayal.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But all day, I know the origin of it, but still, like in my mind, I couldn't put together. And like I said, this is not to, I love, like I said, I use my marriage as nothing but a punching bag for punchlines. Love to do it, but I'm not shitting on him in this moment to say this. My mind was, how does somebody marry somebody? This person's their partner, and they treat them like the enemy, right? They treat them.
People do it all the time.
They do.
They do it all the time.
They do. But that was my mindset. So then it became maybe it's something I'm doing. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Or like, you know, I tend to be way more pragmatic about life. So I'm a lot colder in my decisions and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you know, I'm okay saying like you're out of my financial
range.
Yeah. I'm okay saying that because if something happens and like, then I'm going to be at a deficit. Like I'm okay saying those kind of things. It's not the most romantic stuff to say, but at the end of the day, it matters.
And also it causes you less pain and causes the other person less issues in the long run when you figure that out on the front end, because you're trying to do something to overextend yourself, and that person that person is like, okay, what you gonna do next?
They expect it.
What you gonna do next? Huh? What? Oh, that's it. Oh, you ain't doing no more. What?
Well, how dare you?
The last person did, but
how dare you not do no more? How dare you not give everything? Wait, you giving 99%? I want 100.
What other?
And then when you ask them for 10% back, they're like, "Why are you trying to change me?" It turns into something like that. At least in my story, like not everybody's story looks like that, but in my story, I had I got a call. So there was a guy I was dating. I'm single. Don't judge me. There was a guy I was dating, and I remember. Yeah, I told you about Katrina met him. Big Country. Katrina met him. Katrina ain't shit.
Katrina, we know that.
Katrina and her husband ain't shit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, they
actually,
both met him. Okay.
Katrina and her husband and my oldest, my goddaughter ain't shit.
Oh yeah, that's
okay. Because both all of them was like, she's like, Tico, I don't like him. You need to leave him alone. I said, he's right there.
Oh shit.
She's so rude. So
he's not for you.
She's so rude. She's so rude. Corey, like, look at him. He ain't even got a chance.
Just sitting there looking simple as shit.
So
simpleton.
When we went on our first date, one of the things he told me is he wanted to get married and have a kid. I was like, oh, hi, my name's Nicole. I was like, can we get to there?
Yeah.
I like sunsets and walk. Oh no,
walks on the beach.
Bet. You know what? I'm not gonna knock that because at least that's your truth. I know what you're looking for, so you can say if I don't want kids, I know ahead of time I can go about my day, right? So I'm like, I'm not against that, whatever the case may be. But every conversation after that was still on that level. It was like there was no growth, no nothing. He just wanted to go right into a relationship. And I'm like, no, like I'm not 20 years old.
He had a timeline, and that's what it was.
He's 50.
Oh, okay. His biological. He felt his biological clock was ticking.
Men have a biological.
No,
penis clock?
But he was
okay.
No, but he
is the clock at 12. No, I'm sorry.
No. Is it 12 o'clock? Is it 3 o'clock? Is it 6?
So he was like, that was where he was. And so so I would be like, hey, I got to go check on my property. He said, well, I'll do it for you. I could do this. I'm like, I don't need you to.
Trying too hard. Because he's trying to get something out the situation. Yeah.
So eventually he called me and he was like, hey, no, it's a call or a text. I think it was a text. He Dear John me.
Mhm.
He Dear John texted me, and he was like, "Hey, clearly you're not looking for you're not what I need. This, that, and the third. I want this, this, and this, and you keep trying to push me away, and like whatever." And so now I was amused.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie to you because I ain't shit.
Mhm.
All right, I was amused. I was like, I got a Dear John text,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I respected him because that's where he was,
Yeah.
and he's looking for something, and he, if I'm not it, I want you to find what it is. So I would check on him periodically, and so maybe a few weeks ago he was on my mind, right, heavy,
Mhm.
and I was like, let me not
Is about
while
you want to accept it at that point?
no
Oh, okay.
no, he was just on my mind.
Oh, okay.
Turns out he was really sick.
Okay.
Like I'm real,
So
like
maybe
I'm
that's
a
what his reason
empath.
for. Maybe
Huh?
this was his reason for wanting to have a kid. So hurry
No,
up.
he had like flu or something.
Huh?
Yeah, like really bad flu.
Okay, maybe he knew he was gonna have the flu, and the flu was gonna stop his
Stop.
sperm from.
So I called him, and and he was like, so I texted him saying, "Hey, how you doing? You just on my mind. Everything good." And then he texted me back like, "Hey, I got a new phone. Who's this?"
Mm.
I said, "Oh, okay, no problem." And I was gonna respond eventually, but it's not pressing.
Mm.
I ain't shit. Like my friends, like people don't. My friends, I tell my friends ahead of time, y'all have the platinum package. That means I
Mm.
respond expeditiously. You can get me immediately. But nigga, like if you ain't got the if you just on the basic plan, I may not respond to texts on time. I may not respond. I may not answer phones. I may not, like, these things may not happen. Why? Because the people with the platinum plan are taking my
They're taking your
time.
time up.
Thank you. If you want the platinum plan, this is what you got to do. So other than that, so I didn't respond. So he eventually called me, and I was on the phone with him, and he was like, "Yeah, he got real sick." I said, "No wonder you were on my mind." I was like, and he was like, "That's real sweet of you to like think about me, whatever." I said, "Oh, no problem." I said,
Want to have a baby?
That's exactly what he did.
You ready to have a baby?
That's exactly what he
Okay,
did.
all right.
And I said, "What?"
Gotta love it.
And he's like, "I mean, look, Nicole, why are we still playing around? Why don't we just do this?" I said, "We ain't doing nothing. You sent me that Dear John text saying that you wanted something more." I said, "You need to find what you're looking for. Don't settle for me. I ain't shit. I'm not going to give you what you're looking for. You're going to fight hard to try to make me a part of your life, and I'm going to keep pulling away because that's not what I want. I don't want to fit what you're looking for. I want to figure out what works."
Yeah, and that's what I think a lot of people do. They get stuck in their own self and what they want, to where the other person is just an object to fulfill their
It's a
goals.
checklist.
Yeah,
A vessel, if you will.
Yeah.
A vagina vessel to birth your big head baby.
I had the same thing. I had a woman offer me a motorcycle for because she knew I wanted a motorcycle at the time. For and she knows it's the truth if she watched this later on.
It's like you gave you candy. It'll show candy. Hey, little boy.
Yeah. You get a motorcycle. Just I want a baby, and you can sign your rights away. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't. I already have a son in New Orleans, and no, I can't do that. That's going to be my child. So I'm going to want to, if I have any children, I'm going to want to be in their life. That's just not what I do. So, I had the same situation happen. And yeah, it was
the price of a child. Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of motorcycle it's going to be, but
I mean,
I wasn't doing it.
I mean, like, on some level, I get it, right? She's trying to do a cheap version of, but you know what? You could have set yourself up for the full okie doke, because, like, I also.
No, yeah, I mean, hey.
I also had a friend who did that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
I also had a friend who did that too.
Mm.
He was like, he wanted citizenship.
Yeah.
And she wanted a baby. And I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "Well, she got a baby, but she didn't want to sign the paperwork." I said, "You supposed to pull out until you got that paperwork done
first."
Okay. What you done got? How you got the long kind, like the 40 weeks?
Bass backwards.
Sorry.
Idiot.
Oh, that's not good, but it's funny because he's like, "She tricked me." I said, "Did you do it to yourself?"
No, she didn't. You did it to your damn self.
Yeah, you did it to yourself. Like, let's not act like, come on now.
You already knew up front what she wanted.
And you knew what you wanted. She made sure she got what she wanted. You did not.
You didn't secure
that job.
Yeah, you didn't secure your position. Whatever position y'all was using.
He was using the wrong position.
Yeah, he should have been signed the same time. It should have been dog style.
Oh no! Oh no!
Sign it.
No,
sign.
Never let her get on top. You have no control.
Sign.
Yeah.
Sign. Take out. Sign. You better sign it. Take out.
I will say this, right? So, like, my thing to say this is, um, every action has a repercussion, right?
Mhm.
Every action, and it's not to like scare you or anything like that, but some repercussions are livable repercussions, right? In the case of that lady with the child, that was
Yeah, that's worse. That's the actually worst thing other than killing her that could have happened in that situation.
yeah, like like your decision had a repercussion that affected your child, and I guarantee she didn't intend on that to happen.
No.
Um, in other situations, sometimes like me, if like your choice, my choice, and a husband, and be it whatever decision it was, and
Mm,
I had a valid reason for what I did at the time, had a repercussion to the point where it's like my trust levels are low,
mm,
and like, and then I didn't even know that it was the case. Like, there's always repercussions to everything. Some repercussions are good things. Now I'm
yeah.
hip to the game. I can spot them like a mile away when they're good at it. Like, I mean, the other ones, but I also look at the ones who are like, so sometimes it works for me,
Mm,
sometimes it works against me. But there is a repercussion for every decision you make. Not to say you should stop making
no.
decisions, but I'm also saying that you need to figure out in the moments where you're sitting here saying somebody did this to me,
Hmm.
that you take the hard, long, honest look at yourself and say, what did I do
Mm,
in that? How could I have prevented that? And really assess that, right? Because it's
mm.
not as simple as, well, I shouldn't have gave him my number. No, because something in you was attracted to
Yeah,
that.
it would have been somebody else, just different face, same type of person. I got asked a question last week, sort of kind of on this line,
Mm,
and I was asked it years ago, and the question was like, if you could change something about yourself that you don't like, would you change it? Or anything that happens to you, it happened to you in the
mm.
past, would you change it? My answer is always going to be this. So it was in 10 or whatever, how many years ago, and it's gonna always be this. No, I wouldn't change a damn thing, because if you think about it, if you like who you are today, everything you went through, from the mistakes, the bad stuff, the good stuff, everything you through made you the person you are. You're a sum total of everything you went through from the time you were a child, when you were born, up to now. So if you change one thing, a degree this way, a degree that way, you could either been dead, could have been in a different situation.
Yeah, you change. Yeah, it
Yeah,
changes
you
your
change your
future.
outcome. Yeah, your future. So people need to start understanding that. When you start looking at stuff and saying, "Well, woe is me. This happened to me, and this that," look at yourself. Do you like who you are? You
I
know.
used to say that. That's
Yeah.
why we're related. I used to say that all the time.
That's why related. It's
That's
not
why
the
we're
DNA.
related.
It's not the
I
genes.
mean that too,
It's
but
not
it's
because
like it's
daddy went my
obviously,
mama and your
yeah,
mama. Oh, that's how.
obviously he
Okay.
didn't pull out.
He didn't pull out. Yeah,
Um,
4 times. Actually five, but because
one,
listen to her. Yeah.
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 Stop.
Okay.
Listen to her. Anyway,
Anyway,
so
so one else supposed to be twin. Listen to her. But anyway, go ahead. What'd you say?
um, no, like I used to say that.
Hmm.
I will say this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get a positive from your circumstances,
Hmm.
right? Every trauma comes with a lesson.
Hmm.
Every trauma comes with the understanding that your strength took you through it and you're on
Hmm.
the other side of it, and that's definitely something to be celebrated.
Hmm.
But I also think it's okay to say, I wish it didn't happen. I wish I didn't have to experience that trauma. I think that's okay to say that, right? um uh
But
because that young lady,
will you experience that? Well, no, that's no,
so
that
that's
no,
what I'm
so
saying,
that's
there are
something.
trauma.
No, that is right there, and that's not a trauma that really actually happened to her. It happened to her daughter because of
No,
her.
I'm talking about the young lady, the daughter.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Okay,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Okay,
I
yeah. But
guarantee
that
if she
wasn't her.
like
That wasn't her. That wasn't anything in her power. That wasn't any.
yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying if you could
Oh,
go back, that like,
okay.
and
Yeah.
there
Got you.
the
Yeah.
point is saying that
No,
there are
I
situations
agree.
that are, you shouldn't have to be. I don't want you to sit there and say I should be grateful for everything I
Yeah.
experienced. No, there's certain things you shouldn't have had to experience and you
Yeah.
shouldn't have to gone through. But if you can find a lesson, so
Mm-hmm.
you can find your, like, at least understanding that you survived it,
Mm-hmm.
and understand that your strength took you out of a shitty situation and you had no control over. You can find something in a value in that and still stand on that and be like, all right, this shit happened and that was traumatic and this, that, and also get the help for it. But I mean, like, from that standpoint, so
I, I think that's the difference, is having control over stuff. That's the difference, because you got kids that were born with cancer. No, they ain't gonna say, "Well, yeah, I was born with cancer." So no. So I think that you having control. That's I'm gonna say that's the divide what I said, and
well,
you
I
know.
mean, but I
Yeah.
think it's okay even if you have control over your I decided to marry my husband.
Mm.
I decided to do it.
I sure did. I was there.
I decided to do it, but if I had to do it over again, um, I wouldn't have changed anything because of that reason. But we're also related, so you can't trust me.
Yeah.
But I will say,
So you said I'm not trust? Are you trying to say I'm
no,
not trustworthy?
no. I'm
Okay.
saying is you can't trust like there's certain things like equates to like, right? We
Okay.
can be
Yeah.
having this conversation in a
Yeah.
vacuum.
Yeah.
But I will say this: there was a lot of trauma that came from that marriage that I internalized a lot of it, and I blame myself for a lot of it, and that I had to undo. So I don't say I wish that I can take it all back, but I do wish that I would have come to healing quicker than I did. I will say
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But that would change your future too,
Yeah.
though.
No. Yeah. You had to take the time because if you'd have sped something up, then you got somebody else that would have had you going through some other stuff because you weren't fully healed. If you'd
No,
have
no,
rushed
I'm
that
saying like
process.
no. Well, but okay, rushing the process to heal is one thing, right?
Okay.
Rushing, learning your lesson from it is a whole different one. And I'm saying that at that time, I don't think I learned my lesson.
Okay.
I think I had topical things that I saw that I was like, all I got to do is make sure I don't do this. Oh, just don't drink it. Don't date a yardie.
Don't get married. Don't
date a Jamaican.
Don't date a
Like,
Jamaican.
like I had those answers,
Yeah.
but those aren't the answers. So if I had to make a decision about if I could go back in time, I wish I could go back in time and make myself see myself in the mirror and say, this is your lesson. Get to your lesson. But then that being said, I wouldn't be right here right now. I'd be totally more involved. I'll be the sun right now. I'm involved into the sun.
I'll be talking to y'all by myself.
Yes, probably. Or maybe this will be on TV. Who knows? Who knows? So stuff like that. It's stuff like that. I had a very involved conversation. I was talking to a friend who, like, associate, and like I ain't nothing bad to not look at, man. And they ain't nothing bad not to look at. So it's like an attraction. That person had somebody.
Okay.
And they weren't happy in their relationship. So they told me that, their girl was like upset that they were talking to me, so they couldn't talk to me.
Oh, not that. Oh.
Yeah, and so I was like, fine.
My girl said I can't talk to you no more. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I gotta go. I gotta go. Bye. So like, and it's like, well, I'm gonna still talk to you every now and again. Like every now and again, I'll reach out to you every now and again. I said, okay, live your life, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. And like, it wasn't like we had a long-term conversation. It wasn't anything disrespectful. It wasn't like, but it was just cool conversation. So next thing you know, I get this message and it's like, hey, I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore.
I'm free.
If she had a problem with me and she don't trust me, then that's her issue. I'm not about to let it. So I'm going to talk to you more often. And I responded like, hey, all right, I want to say this in the most responsible way possible without it sounding like I'm attacking you. I understand. I respect the decision you made in the past. I'm not a toy you put on the shelf and take off when you choose to take off. I'm uninterested in having multiple conversations with you. We can keep it going where it's been, like every now and again, check on each other.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I said, but I value myself way more than that, than to sit here and just be played with whenever you choose to play with me or not.
Whenever you feel like getting your balls back.
Yes. So, it was like a dope conversation because like he realized his part in it. He realized that while he was trying to go over here in this direction to like appease this one situation, he caused another situation that wasn't even, and so he like it. But he's a sociologist, right? So if a sociologist can't get it right, y'all, I'm just saying, like, because they should understand the impact of social behaviors. Right. That's what their degree is in. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's like, oh, he made a mistake. No, I mean, he made a mistake, but I mean, he's a sociologist who made a mistake.
But you got
like how you feel like the Walmart
emotions.
worker gonna be.
Yeah, but you can't. You can know anything, everything. You can know everything. You could be Stephen Hawking, know everything, and emotions, right, take over, and you feel a certain way about somebody, and you do dumb shit. because
Oh,
of your emotions.
definitely.
So, you know,
But your dumb shit don't mean that I gotta.
and I'm not saying you should have put up with it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know, people do dumb things based on what they think they want or what they're going to get out of the situation. And
I mean, you think you're making the best decision.
you have to
Also,
worry
it's
about
coming
shitting
from
on
a negative
people.
space.
Yeah. Which way?
Uh, Heidi says.
You got to worry about shitting on people along the way. You can't ever do that. You know, even though you're trying to be somebody, you can't ever shit on somebody that's been there for you in the past. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just.
Well, in our
You know,
case, it was like we were getting to know each other, and that person had already been there.
okay.
So I
Okay.
mean, look, you make the decisions you make, but you made them.
Mhm.
Don't act like you didn't make that decision. I don't care the impetus of why you made the decision. At the end of the day, your actions were you made those decisions, so you can't be mad at the results. You should have like the lesson in this is, to me, take some more time before you make a decision to understand the full ramifications of what your answers are.
Yeah. Weigh everything out fully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do. How they do have animal instincts, but we're
We also thinking
yeah,
people.
yeah, thinking people. We gotta,
We
you know,
can't allow for, what's the word I want to say? We can't allow for excuses for us, like, oh, it's instinct. I couldn't help myself. Because that's exactly how rape culture happens. Well, what was she wearing? Well, you know he's a man. What did you expect to happen? This. Like, it's that kind of thing. We can't get there and if
no,
it's
she was joking about it.
oh.
Yeah, she was joking about that.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Rape. She gonna hit you with the rape culture.
My bad,
Oh,
Heidi.
shit. Oh,
No,
shit.
because I'm like,
Rapist. Heidi, you're a rapist. Look at you.
You
Rapist.
touch me. Like, my bad. I thought the animal instinct. Like but I do think there are attractions. I do
No,
think
yeah,
there's a level. I mean, we are animals, but we're all thinkers too. So I do think there's some part of it, right? Like, and he was attracted to me. And but the true answer was, if he asked himself the hard questions, he would have realized he knew he was emotionally cheating.
Yeah. And that's probably why he felt bad, and that's why he felt he had to do that.
Yeah.
Actually.
And if he had asked himself that and he had told me that, I would have been okay with that. But he put the onus on me, like I was a part of the reason why.
You the reason why, damn it. You over there looking so
delectable.
Looking delicious.
But if you had actually, like, it could have turned into something different. It could have turned into something else that wasn't what it was. Like, it could have been like, all right, well, an honest conversation, but it wasn't. And you tried to play me like I was the reason, like, I'm some kind of.
So did he say like she wasn't comfortable with our interactions and stuff, and did he come at you like that?
Well, yeah, he was like, well, we're hitting on each other. We ain't doing shit.
No, okay, that's no.
We ain't no. We ain't doing nothing. I'm just talking about the day. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just cute doing it. It ain't my fault.
So basically, he failed to tell her what the situation was, and explain to her fully, and he just went along with it to try to appease her. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry, sister sending me stuff. She don't know I'm on this podcast. Doggone needy children. So and I'm not to say that to shit on him. Like I said, I liked him. I thought he was a cool dude. You got to do the best thing you got to do. It is what it is. But that being said, like, I guess my takeaway from this, because I could tell you story after story of those situations where I've watched, and I've done myself where I didn't do the proper work to figure out why I'm reacting in this way or whatever. My favorite one was when if I don't like somebody, that's it. I don't like you. And like, I need to unpack why. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, I don't like you. I don't like you. There's a reason though.
You'll never be well.
There's a reason. And so, but sometimes, let me say it like this. I did, sometimes it can save your life. Yeah. You need to start spending time with yourself and ask yourself the hard questions, because it can save your life. I remember, like, there are 3 distinct times where it was like I didn't want to do something, I didn't do it, and then something happened. I was like, oh, thank God. Or something, like, actually 5, because 2 was in New Orleans and 2 of them involved bullets. It was in New Orleans. Both of them were in New Orleans. But it was like I could have got shot. I could have, like, if I'm not listening to my internal me
and figuring Meg the Stallion before Meg the Stallion.
Oh, I don't need that life. I don't need it.
I'm talking about shot in the foot.
Yeah. That's just a disrespectful way. Anyway, so like, Like those kind of things. Asking yourself why, asking this, that, and third can save your life.
Mhm.
Literally save your life. Why are you making this decision? What is this? Why do you feel this way? And keep peeling that layer back. Because if it at the end of the day the answer doesn't start and stop with you, you need to ask some more questions.
Mhm.
So that's what I got.
Feelings.
Nothing more
Whoa.
than whoa. You know, I liked when the Steve Urkel's version. Whoa.
Laura.
You know, you got a weed strain now, right?
Yeah, Purple Urkel.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
And the creators of Urkel are probably gonna sue him.
What?
No, I'm just saying, if I were the
Oh
creator
no.
of Urkel, I would. I'd sue the hell out of him. You better run me
Well,
some money.
well,
Urkel's a
no,
character.
Urkel is a character,
created
but
on a
Purple
show.
Urkel, you can't. I mean,
I'm
put
just
it
saying.
together. If he uses the likeness of Urkel on that
He
thing,
did.
okay, well maybe they can. Yeah,
He
they
did.
probably
He went
can.
on.
Yeah,
You
they can.
know,
Yeah.
he promoted it with Snoop, because Snoop is all
Oh
things
yeah,
weed.
everything we got to go through Snoop. Everything.
So yeah, that's all I have. That's what I wanted to talk to. Hopefully, I handled it responsibly, because I again don't want to make people think that I'm victim blaming.
And if not, DM her KNECOLE.
I haven't been DM'd yet, so that's good news.
Y'all need to do better.
I don't check my area, because you know, if you don't get it, if it's not, they're not a friend of
Yeah,
yours.
yeah,
you
you
won't
got
get
to
it.
check
So I mean,
section.
so if a tree that falls in the forest and I'm not around to hear it,
Did it
happen.
fall?
Yeah.
Did it fall?
So hopefully it was responsible, because again, if you're watching this and you're going through something, you going through something is valid, and it's important that you understand that some things are not your fault. There are things that aren't your fault, but also it's important for you to understand that if you can find areas where you can change, maybe it can help in the other areas as well, or at least the outcome to the other areas, because trauma happens and we're not aware of it.
Also, you keep having something happen over and over again with different people, you might want to reassess the situation. Maybe you're dealing with the wrong way. Maybe you need to learn to deal with stuff better, and then you might not get the same outcomes. Sometimes that happen where people do stuff and you deal with a certain way, and your reaction is causing somebody to react to you. So,
I mean, but at the end of the day, it's figuring it out, right?
Yeah, you got to figure it out. That's what I was saying.
I mean, we're all chemical. It's all chemical. Like we're all
yeah.
doing this chemical. What is it? Labs. This is all testing. You're all trying, like, we're trying to get better, but to get better, you got to figure out if I do this the way, or maybe if I don't put up with his shit, maybe if I start saying no a little bit more to this, maybe if I start saying yes a little more to these things, maybe if to figure out what works and doesn't work for you.
Don't just be set in your ways to where this is what I do, this is who I am, and I'm not changing for nobody.
And then wondering why you don't have the outcome you want.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say. In a nutshell.
I absolutely agree. Because there's a man, ladies, there's a good black man, good looking country black man out there who want a wife and a child. So if y'all are interested, I will hook y'all up.
Looking this way. The 50-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good looking man.
Okay.
Good looking, very sweet, very nice, like very everything.
The only problem I have with that is that he's looking to fill a position and that person is blurred out. That was my pet peeve, like dating and stuff. It's like I tell women, you don't want me, you want
that.
You want this.
No,
this you want.
And you want me to walk into it and try to fit it on. Like the arm's a little too tight.
Like you spray something and just just walk through it. Oh, this is you. All right. Come through the mist.
You know who Jill Scott, not my favorite person as far as speaking about women's stuff, but great singer. She did this one song that said that she was doing a speaking part of the song, and she said she had this one man who smelled great in this cologne, and she said, I bought this cologne for my other man and it didn't smell the same. And I was like, that always stay with me, right? So when you said
that's real. Yeah.
It's everybody don't fit the role being, but some people look. I don't know if I'm living my life the right way. There's not one right way to live life. Maybe simple is best. I don't know.
Yes, I believe simple is best most of the time.
Well, maybe simple means finding a husband and finding a wife and wanting to have a kid. I don't know.
No, well, okay, but you have to. So this, no, because let's think this through, right? This is the thing. You just find a woman and stick in that position, have a child by her, and then get to know her later on, and this is the worst human being possible. She's not a good mother. She doesn't.
That's usually what happens.
And that's what I'm saying. He's not thinking it out. That's what I said. It's those, unless he has a luck of Irish. No, you just can't do that. And that's why I refuse. That's why that was a pet peeve of mine, because if I do that, if I sign up for that, I'm putting myself in a position to try to be that person that you got in your mind. And
Ugh,
I'm not that person. I mean,
work.
I am who I am, and I like who I am. So, you would have an issue with me every day. Every day.
Why can't you be the person? I
Every
gave you
day.
a kid.
No,
that's all you
every day.
asked for.
Damn it.
All
Every
you
day
asked
gonna have a
for is
problem with me.
marriage and a kid. You didn't ask for nothing else. You didn't say I couldn't cheat on you. You didn't
Yeah.
say none of those things. That's the other part about this, by the way.
Yeah.
You're not doing the work to figure out what you really, really want and why you want it.
Mhm.
Then you're gonna get what you get, and you're gonna wonder why it don't fit.
Yep. Trying to put a square peg in a round hole.
Mm-hmm. Or fashion over on a body that's
God.
natural.
Oh God.
Like they ain't built for natural.
Body.
Yes, unengineered.
You can't do it on an unengineered body. You need to be engineered for
Exactly.
Fashion Over.
Because I be looking at Fashion Over. I was looking at it with Katrina while we were at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at it there, and I was like, "Why do I not want to get this?" I'm like, "Cause my body don't look like that.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna be like, why is snug?"
And that's the
'Cause
marketing.
I got all my ribs.
Yeah, no, that's a marketing tricks. They put these engineered women up in front of you with this stuff on. You like, okay, let me go buy it. And then you be looking like, what if I bought it off of Wish? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. Hey, welcome back. He's from Britain.
Hey, I likes the Britons.
What do you think about open? Can you tell me, or is this a woman or a man? Because I mean,
or somebody who doesn't identify.
Or I'm sorry. Yes,
gender neutral.
Gender neutral. I'm sorry.
What do you think about open relationships, which are quite popular today?
If it works for you, if it works for you. It's all about what works. I mean, there's no one way to do things. We were given something by people a long time ago, and we've been sticking with it. And a lot of people don't work for it. Why you think divorce rate is high?
But the divorce rate's high in the poly population too.
I don't know about. I didn't check that, but I mean,
I've been doing research because I've been in a group. I've been ever since we did the thing. They're very cool people. Very cool people.
No, they're very down to earth.
But the problem is okay. All right, let's unpack what open relationships are, right?
Will and Jada entanglement.
Well, so the component of a married couple opening up their relationship to have multiple partners, right? Why? If we're talking about open up your relationship to have multiple partners, do you have a strong relationship with your partner?
Yeah.
Have you done the work with your partner? Are y'all good that y'all can bring somebody else in to disrupt your lifestyle? Because that's what's going to happen. Be it good or bad, it's still a disruption. That's what it is. So for me, I feel about open relationships like I feel about kids. You shouldn't do it if you're using it to save what you got.
Yeah. If you're doing it for a purpose and it's not other than you want to do it, and you and them, that person you're with, want to do this, genuinely want to do this.
Not want to. Y'all are in a place where y'all emotionally can. But emotionally, financially, there's a lot of time and stuff invested in other people. You're bringing some energy into your life. So that's going to take more than just you saying we're just doing this.
You have to be grounded spiritually, emotionally, financially.
Y'all got to be set. Y'all got to be here to be like, because
we're the two most important things. Anything on the outside of us is starting to break us up. We got to end it. You have to be at that point where y'all can have these.
Not necessarily. Like you, the single person, your whole individual, your partner's a whole individual.
But when it comes together, I mean, but when it
it just depends. They may not have that. They might not have a kitchen table. They might not have. There are different dynamics of poly lifestyle.
Open relationship, not poly.
That's a part of poly.
Yeah, but open relationship.
Open relationship is like saying, fruit, bananas, apples, da 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 da. So open relationship is under the.
We just see other people. They're not trying to have a relation. They're not trying to have partners like. Set partners, open.
But couldn't it be set partners too?
I would think that'd be more poly, not open, because open relationship means you go date other people. Yes.
Is it sex or dating? Because I thought it was dating too.
Dating.
Then that's poly.
Okay.
I think it's like. I mean, I think there's open relationship and there's poly, but poly has different umbrellas underneath it. But open relationship and poly are kind of like in set.
Yeah,
And so
it's
open relationship can
parallel to
also
each other.
be, yeah, it can be ethically non-monogamous or not. It could be so many things, but I think they're kind of almost parallel.
Mirrored, yeah.
They almost mirror, but my answer still stays the same. I don't think open relationships are a good idea if y'all aren't in a good place, because it's just gonna make it worse. It's like just like having a kid.
But there's a many more like if
There's
you look at
so
it,
many more
if you look at the
dynamics.
I'm gonna put up a diagram of Polly. There's a diagram and it looks like chicken scratch, like
I saw that. That was a
I'm
good
like,
diagram.
God, okay, that's a little bit too much. I don't
And
want to
then
do
if you
this.
have that conversation
I
with
don't want
poly
to do that.
people, it's a full
Yeah.
conversation.
Oh,
But
they're
it's
in it. Yeah.
very
Yeah. They're
very interesting, the thought and the process,
yeah,
whatever.
we need to do another Polly
I was thinking
blackout.
that. And
Yeah.
I was thinking we
Yeah.
should also do another rednecks.
Okay, let's do
I
it.
would
Yeah,
like to do
because
it.
we didn't do any this year.
Nine.
Yeah.
We've just been dropping, but
Yeah.
that's okay. We still got good content. We
Yeah.
just need to. But I will say, my answer is still the same. I will bring it back from that. I don't think that you should be ready for anything unless you are okay.
No,
Right?
no, it got to start with you. Yeah, I agree. I agree with
It
that.
starts and ends
It
with
starts
you.
with you, but I'm saying as so we're talking about the relationship aspect of it, and what Heidi said about longevity is not a is a recipe for longevity. She don't think it's a recipe for
I mean,
longevity,
I think
but
it could be if you got a strong
yeah,
foundation.
if you have to have a strong foundation together, first you have to be, and then together you have
Mhm.
to have this foundation where if anything on the outside of us starts to bring us apart,
Yeah,
it got to
it
end. It
doesn't
got to end.
happen.
Boom, it's done.
You know, we talked about that. It's funny that you say that. Like, and I know we're off topic, but it's funny that you say that because when we were in the poly, you remember we did the blackout session,
Mhm.
and I think I was asking questions to you and one of the ladies.
Mhm.
Um, you said differently because I said
About
something like, if your partner is not comfortable with you being with this girl
Mhm.
and she wants you to stop being with the girl, no, would you stop being with the girl until you can make her comfortable with it? And you said no.
I did.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna have
said
to look.
no.
I might have been in a different place. I've grown.
Oh, well, see, but no, I agree with
Yep,
you
yeah,
now. This is so
yeah,
weird
yeah.
because I was in what you're saying now. That's how I felt.
Mhm.
But after hearing you and hearing her talk
Mhm.
about it, I feel totally different now
Okay, I
because
don't
I
remember
feel
what my
like,
point was to it, but
well,
yeah.
like it's not for you to make her feel comfortable with the situation. It's for her to be what she got to set her own boundaries. She got to set her own life.
Okay,
So
yeah, and once again, it's up front. We have to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can see it, and I can see it from another way too, because I mean, we have to set our boundaries beforehand. So
yeah.
yeah,
Now, if the
yeah.
other person comes in and like your partner, your other partner other than your spouse
Mhm.
comes in and violates your boundaries,
Yeah,
then yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
then you have to cut that off because you have boundaries set up, and some of your boundaries might be in reflection to your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay,
Mhm.
but I don't think that your spouse should have a say in what you like in any more of a say than what the decisions y'all have made and whatever,
Mhm.
and gone from there. And then maybe you have to revisit it and whatever,
Yeah.
but it's still a discussion. It needs
Yeah.
to come from a healthy place. But that's how,
Rather than you need to do things, you need to do this, and I think that's what it was about. They telling me something I need to do.
yeah.
That's what I think that was about. And I'm like, nah, no,
Nah, you
we
changed
have
my
to talk
mind.
about it. Yeah,
Y'all
we have
changed
to
my
talk
mind
about
with
that.
that. I was
Yeah,
like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
yeah.
And it also goes to speak to what I was done in the past in
Mhm.
relationships, though. So I was like, damn, I have to unpack that.
Mhm.
But that being said, I think that if it's in the right context and you're in the right place with your partner, I don't think it's bad at all. I think open relationships. I mean, look, get your freak on, live your life.
Hey, we only here for a short period of time, and
Life is hard enough, and you
yeah,
got to pay taxes. Did you know
yeah,
that?
you got to pay taxes.
Y'all got to pay taxes. Okay, this is some bullshit. I didn't sign up for this.
Nope.
I just wanted ice cream whenever I wanted it.
Yep. We just wanted to grow up and
I just want ice cream for breakfast. That's all I asked for.
have a beautiful girl and have a nice Corvette or something, whatever car you was into when you was a little boy. And she be on the side and you just look at it and her hair whipping in the wind or some shit like that. And just drop top. It's gonna be a drop top. And and live a good life and go to a big baller house and just chill out. But
That ain't how life is.
taxes.
Taxes
Hey,
get
the
you.
government want their stuff.
They want their cut.
They want their cut.
They're the big pimp.
And then we never think about working. Like you got to work for that stuff. We didn't think about that when we was young.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
anyway,
but now that they brought up the open relationship, you want to talk to, want to talk to in the polyamory
Who?
community? Polygamous? No. Which are the ones who have to have two women, but no, they won't allow
they
their
can
partner?
no
Polyandry?
polyandry.
Is
No,
that
no,
what
no.
it is?
Polyandry is the men. A
Okay.
woman that has two men.
Okay.
Polyamory is the man that has two women.
Okay.
I look it up. I can't remember.
I don't remember words.
My book. I had I written down notes. Where my notes at? This somewhere
You
in the
used to
front.
be so good. You had your
my
book of notes.
Yeah, my notes. It's in the front room. I
But
think.
yeah, that's all we got. We're off topic, but thank you for the information. Thanks for the question. We will, but that did spark that. That's always an interesting discussion.
Yeah, we did that's they're coming from Twitch. We did a blackout session with polyamory and different relationship types, alternative relationships, love. What is it? Alternative love, whatever.
People getting their freak on.
Yeah, people get their freak on. Anyway, we might do it again. I mean, we're probably going to do it again because it was fun and we got to learn some stuff. So
yeah. I mean, honestly, that was a whole new world for me. So
yeah,
it was cool. I'm all for it.
So.
And then we can ask some people. I wonder if I don't know. We'll think about it. We are supposed to take some time off so we can put together a format for our
So let's
show.
take time off. We come back in with the bam. We just hit them with the wow, with the, hit them with that blackout.
Yeah.
When we come back. So
we have to put it together. It's gonna take some time. I'm not promising you we're gonna go off and come back. Because it takes some time. We have to pull stuff together. We have to set things in advance. And people got jobs. Mm-hmm. Some of us got two, and some of us got children.
Mm-hmm. Some of us.
Yeah.
I didn't pull out twice. Oops, I mean more than. Anyway, thank everybody. thank everybody for tuning in.
As always, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate y'all. All right.
For another titillating topic.
Titillating.
Titillating. Okay. I say that word in a while.
Titillating. Okay.
Titillating.
All right. Later. Peace.